Music has always been a culturally isolated activity. The average person didn't have access to sounds from around the world. Because of this, entire genres were left to live in confinement, especially when you introduce a language barrier. But in today's global landscape, the game has changed. If YouTube's magic algorithm didn't already suggest it to you, there's plenty of online publications helping to spread the good word of good tunes. But we're still discovering new sounds from the past. There's a genre from the 70s that fused Western Psychedelia with Eastern Folk. A wave that could have had enormous potential on the global stage, yet was faced with a political upheaval that throttled the genre's exposure. That genre comes out of Turkey, and it's called Anatolian Rock. It's 1969. Bands started utilizing emerging instruments, modern recording techniques, incorporating influences from Indian Raja music to warped components of jazz and the blues. There was a new rulebook being written, one, at least in America, fueled off tensions from the Vietnam War. Around then, Anatolian rock began to emerge. Turkey was undergoing significant cultural changes in the 60s. With the rise of a multi-party democracy, Western music began to seep into everyday life. Not long after would musicians start to infuse Western rock and roll with Turkish folk music. Erkin Koray was one of the earliest adopters of this musical mixture. He started by covering Elvis songs in 1957. By the late 60s, he was one of, if not the biggest, figurehead for Anatolian rock. There's also Boris Menko, who helped found a progressive rock movement and influenced Anatolian rock in the 70s. He's been called the Mr. Rogers of Turkey, as he later went on to host his own singing show for kids. And there's countless others. Selda, Bagcan, Hürel, and Lalalar were some key players in this scene, all making music that blended their country's sound with that of the West. Anatolian rock was a means of expressing anger towards social issues such as race relations, war, sexuality, drugs, and world hunger. It was tied to rebellion, which, in turn, frightened conservatives who wanted to preserve the status quo. Kem Karaka, leader of the band Lalalar, was made an example of and accused of treason for being a Marxist-Leninist. He fled to West Germany in 1957, leaving his fans and following behind. 1 year later, in 1980, a military coup resulted in the arrest of an array of artists. Many were forced to flee in exile, putting a pause on the entire Anatolian rock scene. It lost its visibility inside the country, which would bring invisibility outside. And for a while, it remained this way. A decade would pass before the warrant for Kem Karaka was lifted, and soon after he returned. Many artists followed suit, and the scene was able to resume, though not with the same traction. And now, in the 21st century, the age of the internet, a whole new generation of people have discovered this music, even outside of Turkey. That's thanks to the help of organizations like the Anatolian Rock Revival Project, whose goal is to dig up forgotten songs, remaster them, create original artwork with English subtitles, and release them to the masses. We're also seeing Anatolian rock repurposed for Western audiences. Iggy Pop, famed Stooges frontman, regularly praises Guy Sua Kol, a Turkish singer, on his radio program. Hip-hop artist Mos Def sampled the Selda Bagcan song İnce in his 2009 track Super Magic.
Super Magic, black origin, fresh me out of dopeness, def me out of dopeness.
Dr. Dre sampled that same song for his 2015 album Compton. Action Bronson sampled Ferdi Özbeğen's song Köprüden, Geçti, Gelin for his 2012 song The Madness.
Yo, you ready? Yeah, I'm ready, right? The fast life, getting twisted almost every night.
And in Europe, Swedish DJ Robert Huselius often plays Anatolian rock on the airwaves and has coined the name Turkadelica. We've even seen the genre continue to evolve, as there is a whole new generation of bands making music in the vein of their predecessors. Altın Gün, Palmiyeler, Ayyuka, all are artists who stand on the shoulders of giants and push Anatolian rock forward while preserving its core values. And core values is really what Anatolian music is all about. It's a genre with so much heart and soul, and that's because of its attachment to the roots of Anatolian soil, using melodies and songs that date back hundreds of years. They originated from bandits who rebelled against the Ottoman lords in favor of the common people. It's a deep-rooted idea of freedom, love, and togetherness. It's a combination of sounds that at the very least deserves a seat at the table, a place in music history. And even though it's a bit late, now is as good a time as ever to check it out.